early 2010s. I got hired as a content creator for a university. They wanted to launch a YouTube campaign. The pay? About $2,200 a month. Not great, but I loved the work. On day 2, my manager showed me my KPI, 85 videos. In 1 year, all between 3 to 10 minutes. Scripted, filmed, edited, scored by me, alone, using my own gear. I told her that was impossible. She smiled and said, "Just focus on quality. That's what really matters." I believed her. For the first month, she was kind, supportive. Then she found out I was a smoker, and overnight, her attitude changed. She nitpicked everything, smelled smoke after breaks, complained I was 5 minutes late, despite doing 60-hour weeks. Even breaks weren't safe. If I didn't answer my phone during lunch, it was a performance issue. Still, I kept pushing because I loved the craft. At 5 months, I was called to the director's office. My manager was there, putting on her best concerned face. The director looked me in the eye and said, "We're halfway through the year, and you've only done 30 videos. That's not enough." I tried to explain that I was doing everything solo, that the videos I made had the highest views the channel ever had, that my manager told me quality mattered more than quantity. The director just said, "Well, the KPI is 85. And my manager added, "We'll hire a professional production house." And that's when a little light bulb went off in my head. I was the one who kept the vendor database, production companies, studios, directors, and I knew they would be calling someone from that list. So I changed the contact info on every single one. Emails, phone numbers, except one, a small production house where my friend was a junior director. I gave him a call. "This is your chance," I said. "A 6-figure contract, half a year of work, and I'll help you win it." We made a deal. He gets the gig. His company pays me a 15% finder's fee. Standard, fair, legal. He put me on the phone with his general manager. The guy nearly fainted from excitement. The next morning, contract signed. My friend came in for the pitch. He followed my playbook exactly. They loved him, said he understood their vision, knew their style, felt like family. Of course he did. I'd written every line. They signed immediately. And since production houses are expensive, every video costs 2 to 3 times more than my monthly salary. But they had full crews. They could do a video in 2 or 3 days. They completed the remaining 50 videos in 4 months. Meanwhile, I sat back and collected my 15%. 15 months worth of my old salary. I took a vacation to Bali, used the rest to enroll in film school abroad, and I thought that was the end of it, until I got a call. It was my former colleague, the one who warned me about my manager's hatred of smokers. She was laughing. "She's been fired," she said, and the director got chewed out by the university chancellor. Turns out, the entire video campaign was only budgeted for about a year and a half of my salary, and they blew through 10 times that amount. Why? Because my ex-manager was so desperate to finish the project without me that she approved the entire budget without permission. So, to summarize, my friend became a full director. I got a year's worth of income. And my manager? She got exactly what she deserved.
15 years ago, my best friend and her husband rented a worn-down house with 4 bedrooms, 5 kids, and barely enough money to survive. It was old. The kitchen was disgusting. The drain stank. But it was all they could afford, and they made it home. The landlord was a kind, wealthy old woman. She froze their rent for 5 years and promised once they saved enough, she'd sell the house to them. They trusted her, and so they saved every cent for 5 long years. And then, 2 days after they told her they were ready, she passed away. No written agreement, no contract, just a promise. Gone. Enter her 4 children. Each of them rich, each of them cold. They reassured my friends. Yes, the sale will still happen. Just wait until probate is done. Relieved, my friends started prepping. Painting, stripping wallpaper, planning. But when probate was done, the new owners raised the price by $80,000 without warning. And then they put the house on the open market. The open house was in 7 days. My friends were devastated. Their loan got denied because of the new price. They could maybe get more, but not in time. Worse, if someone else bought the place, they'd be priced out of every large rental in the area. 5 kids. Nowhere to go. I was scared for them. But mostly, I was furious. These heirs were already wealthy. They didn't need this money. They just wanted more. So I decided if we couldn't stop the sale, we'd destroy its value. First, the interior. We moved all furniture away from the walls, brought in extra junk, hung motorcycle posters everywhere. The rooms felt smaller, cluttered, chaotic. Second, the smell. Cabbage boiled for hours. Ammonia sprayed by the doors. Rotten eggs, dozens, poured down the drain. The house smelled like sewage and cat pee. Third, the neighbors. We placed a moldy couch on the front yard across the street. With permission, of course. Then came the neighborhood chaos. We called everyone we knew. Noisy cars? Come rev your engines. Motorcycles and leather jackets? Perfect. Join the fake barbecue next door. Rugby guys? Free beer if you show up looking rough. They did. And they brought friends. The open house turned into rush hour. Crowded. Loud. Rough. Buyers came in and quickly ran out. One woman didn't even leave her car. She saw the party and drove away. One brave guy actually asked a party guest what was going on. He smiled and said, "Oh, it's like this every couple weeks. Last night's party was 3 houses down. And those drains, they always back up. Whole place stinks." The buyer left. Didn't make an offer. The only offer? From my friends. They still paid more than they hoped. but way less than the greedy heirs wanted. They signed the contract and paid the deposit that day. When another buyer tried to offer $30,000 more, it was too late. Anti-gazumping laws shut that down. I would have paid good money to see the faces of those rich vultures when they found out. They tried to squeeze a struggling family. We turned their open house into a full-on neighborhood repellent. And in the end, the house went to the only people who truly belonged in it.
For 3 years, my landlord made my life hell. And honestly, calling him a landlord is generous. He was a thief, a bully, a walking violation. He stole my dryer. He took household items from shared spaces. He made me pay for plumbing repairs, even though they were normal wear and tear. He tried to break into my home. He retaliated when I got a lawyer over a bogus parking dispute. And then he tried charging me an extra $150 a month for nothing. I wasn't late with rent, not once, except for the one time I had to pay for that plumbing out of pocket. And even then, I was only a few days late. And the place? A dump. The plumbing was illegal. The porch had dangerous structural issues. Ceiling paint peeled constantly. The gas heater wasn't up to code. It was all falling apart. But I kept paying, month after month, year after year. Until he tried to raise my rent by $500. That was it. I was done. I found a new place. Made my plans to leave. But first, I made a phone call. 4 days before my move-out date, I called the city building inspector. I told them everything. The illegal porch he built with no permit, the plumbing, the heater, all of it. They sent someone out the very next day. I watched the inspector take photos, measure things, write notes. Every violation, $500 per day until it's fixed. I don't know what happened after, but I know one thing, he's on their radar now. 1 week before I moved out, he texted me, "You must be out by 10 a.m. sharp or I'm calling the cops." Except, that's not how it works in my state. So I said nothing. Instead, I walked straight into the police department and told them what was going on. They nodded, told me to call if anything happened. And sure enough, something did. The morning of my move, I left to drop some things off at storage. When I came back, my front door was nailed shut. Yes, nailed shut. He had broken in and sealed my apartment while I was gone. I called the police immediately, and this time I asked for the supervisor. I was done. No more playing nice. Of course, by the time the cops arrived, he was gone. He knew he'd be arrested on the spot. Later that day, I got a copy of the police report. He's being charged with felony breaking and entering. On top of the fines. On top of the city violations. 3 years he pushed me. 3 years of taking and threatening and breaking the law. And all I had to do was leave and make 2 phone calls. Lesson? Don't be a jerk to good people. Because we remember, we endure. And when the time comes, we make it count.
I got my first real phone in 2005, a second-hand Sony Ericsson. I bought it with scholarship money. It came with a premium number. Clean, professional, easy to remember. And then, the phone call started. "Hello, is this Mr. Bitsa? Your loan is overdue. We've been trying to reach you over and over and over. At first, I said it was a wrong number. Then I blocked them, one by one. But this was 2005. Blocking only worked per device. Every time I got a new phone, I had to start over. For 10 years, I carried a ghost in my SIM card. His name? Bitsa. In 2010, I got a new job, good company, decent project. And then came him, Bits, my project manager. He made hell look like a vacation. Bits ruled with fear, endless emails, unreal deadlines, screaming fits, credit theft, blame shifting. He called meetings during lunch, sent threats at midnight, expected perfection, offered no support, and worst of all, he enjoyed it. He thrived on control, micromanaged everything, and took pride in your burnout. He was from my area, went to my old school years before me. Then, in 2012, after a company merger, I finally saw his full name in the system. Bitsa. My eyes narrowed. Same name, same region, same timeline. I called a former mentor, an old coach. He confirmed it. Yeah, I remember him. Smart guy, but shady. Then he vanished. There it was. Confirmed. My awful boss was the man whose ghost haunted my phone for a decade. So I did what karma would have done. I unblocked every number, all 150 of them. The calls tripled. 5 to 6 a day became 15, 18, sometimes 20. And this time, I didn't say wrong number. I said, he changed his number. Here's the new one. And here's his boss's number too, just in case. I gave them everything. Debt collectors, banks, loan offices. They'd been looking for him for years. Turns out he owed over $200,000 in multiple names, fake loans, credit cards, and 20 open legal cases. No one could find him. Until now. The fallout? I wasn't in the room, but I heard the stories. Endless phone calls, voicemails, emails to his manager, escalations, complaints, court notices. 2 months later, gone. No farewell email, no moving on post. Just terminated. I still have that number. And once in a while, someone calls, looking for Mr. Bitsa. And I smile, because for once, he couldn't control who found him.